Okay, so we have already talked a little bit about how to develop a thesis statement, but let's talk a little bit more about it because we need to look at the purpose of the thesis statement, and sometimes writing that thesis can be a little bit tricky. So I wanted to show another way I help my students arrive at a much stronger, narrowed thesis. Because if you're writing something like an argument paper or a persuasive essay, without a strong argument or claim, and the support to back it up, that persuasive essay or argument essay is just okay. So, what we're going to do is take a look at how to make sure we have strong, focused areas for a thesis, and also that those strong, focused areas will develop into supporting body paragraphs. So, say for instance, our topic is social media and its effect on teenagers. That's just a topic, it's fairly broad in scope. We need to get that narrowed down, but it's not always easy to know how we're going to do that and what our opinion truly is until we go through some kind of exercise. The simplest and fastest way to do this, and I use it often with students at the university level, at the high school level, and even at the middle school and elementary level to a different degree. We can do a brain dump. I'll set a timer for about 1 minute, and I often go through this exercise with my students so that they can see my thought process in real time as they're going through their own. If they have the topic of social media and teenagers, once that timer starts, they're going to just literally write down everything they can think of in regards to social media and teenagers. So, words, phrases, we're not looking at complete sentences here, and nothing is wrong. Whatever comes to mind, they put it down. And they can do this typing or they can write it on a paper. So, this is what it might look like. Social media and teenagers, and the timer starts. Facebook pops into mind. So, when I'm thinking of Facebook, I think pictures of themselves. Then immediately my mind goes to comparison to others. Keep in touch with old friends, the purpose of social media, right? Inadequate or not enough, portraying a false image. Online bullying sometimes happens. If we're spending a lot of time, there's a lack of focus on other assignments like schoolwork. And in general, too much screen time isn't good for you. It's not genuine what I'm seeing there on social media. False stories are going out to the world of who people really are. It's inappropriate at times. There's a danger of predators. Isolation can occur even though it's a community setting, and then community. So, all of these things, this is just kind of the way the mind works as we get these down. And your list might be shorter, it might be longer, but the point is to just do a free flow of ideas. From there, we can talk about what we notice. So, what I've noticed here in my list is that only 2 of those are fairly positive regarding social media, keeping in touch with friends and having a sense of community. But the rest of them, they're a little bit negative in nature, right? So, knowing this, we can revise our thesis a bit. Social media has more of a negative impact on teens than a positive influence. So, that's a working thesis statement. We've taken our topic and moved it into a thesis at least, right? But I will always have my students go a little bit more narrow than this. I want them to really know what it is they're talking about, because when we have too broad of a thesis, the paper tends to be a little bit too broad. So let's take what we've learned and categorize them. What I'm seeing is that there are patterns here forming. Comparison to others, inadequate or not enough, kind of go together, so I'm going to put them in one color. I'll often have students just circle them as well. Portraying a false image, not genuine, false stories to the world, all are kind of speaking to the same thing of not being genuine, so I'm going to put those in green. I'm also noticing lack of focus on assignments, too much screen time, where they're prioritizing their time can be placed in blue. And then the others really don't belong in this essay because I really only want 3 areas that I can focus on and support well. So now I have a revised thesis. Social media is having a detrimental effect on teenagers today in terms of poor prioritization, disingenuous behavior, and allowing comparison to drive their self-worth. So, this is a better working thesis statement. Now students have a clear direction where they want to go. I've also taken some of the words like poor and bad and good and bumped up that vocabulary a little bit, looking at words like detrimental, disingenuous, prioritization. So we use that as kind of our working thesis statement, and from there we're able to outline a strong essay. Body paragraph 1 focuses on prioritization, poor prioritization in general. And we already have some examples from that list of what we can use when we're backing up or supporting this. Body paragraph 2 is being disingenuous, not being genuine, not being true to who they are, and what are some examples of this. Body paragraph 3, allowing others to influence how they think of themselves, how people think of themselves. So we can look at comparison, we can look at identity, we can look at self-worth, all of these things. And from here, there's another activity that you can go into in order to develop supporting details. And you can do this on your own from thoughts that are coming from your own experiences, your own projections, and you can also use research to do that. But that will be another video. So I hope this helped you in terms of brainstorming a little bit. There are many methods that you can use. This is one simple method that I use. If you're interested in working with me, please contact me for feedback on your own writing, and I'm happy to help. I tailor my writing conferences to individual needs, and I'm happy to work with you at expertenglishwithcarrie.com. And please subscribe to this very new channel to help me and support me as I continue to put some free material up here to help you grow in your writing journey.